10 News at 11 starts right now.
Flooding, fires, and damage. We knew severe weather was moving in, and this was all a result. We are fortunate, though, it was nothing compared to what other parts of the country are dealing with.
Good evening, I'm Tammy Fields. It was a bit of a wild night for some parts of the Tampa Bay area. We'll show you more of the damage and flooding in just a moment. But first, we want to check to see if the worst is behind us. I want to get right over to Bobby Deskins and Rick Kirby, who've been monitoring the storms all night for us.
Yeah, the worst is behind us. It is still in the area, but it's exiting the area right now. And the biggest threat, the threat for tornadoes, is now basically diminishing almost 100% across the area.
Yeah, you know, and we were watching this closely because the Storm Prediction Center issued what's known as a PDS, a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. Thankfully, we didn't get that kind of level of storm.
We essentially dodged a bullet because we haven't seen anything like that here. That type of high risk, and we were in the highest category of risk for tornadoes. And then in the end result, we just had a few come through, and none of those are actually confirmed even at this point. Let's show you what's going on right now out there. So things have really quieted down. We still do have the tornado watch for portions of the area. It's Polk County, Hardee, DeSoto, Highlands, Manatee, and Sarasota County as well too. And what happens is as this squall line moves further away, they let the watch drop off from west to east. But you can see some of the wind gusts that we were seeing, some damage. Those are damages that you see there. And then some of the wind gusts up into Hernando and Citrus County as well too. Indian Lakes Estates, it's all clearing out. Frostproof, we're good now. Avon Park, you have seen the last of it as well too. Nothing here to track. Couple of showers are offshore. We'll be watching those overnight. In fact, I do think we'll see some showers, perhaps a thunderstorm or two in the morning, but severe weather, nothing like what we've seen. There will be some wind here. Look at this. Look at the low pressure system. This looks tropical. It's not. This is a cold core system, but it is rare that you see a spin like that with a cold core system. That is just amazing. Now, winds right now have died down. We've had some coastal flooding along the coast. The winds will come back up later tonight and into tomorrow morning. I do expect to have some minor coastal flooding issues in the morning, and we're going to have to watch the Skyway because that's been closed, and we could have some wind that could close it again for tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Bobby. And speaking of the Skyway, I want to take a live look right now at the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Right now, good news, that bridge has been reopened to traffic. Highway Patrol troopers closed the bridge for hours today, though, after the wind speeds over the bridge topped more than 40 miles an hour. As always, they shut it down just to be on the safe side. Right now, flooding is starting to go down in communities along the Pinellas County beaches. Some roads along St. Pete Beach were underwater. You want to be prepared as you head out for work and school tomorrow morning. We want to begin our team coverage tonight with 2 News reporter Jennifer Titus. She is live on St. Pete Beach. Jennifer, wow, what is it out there right now at this hour?
Well, Tammy, they're definitely breathing a sigh of relief out here tonight as the water continues to recede from the streets out here. About an hour or so ago, this street completely underwater, and you can see that the water has gone down significantly. But for the people out here, they tell me they're not going to sleep much tonight because they're going to be watching the water level. If you take a walk with me over here, you can see why. This is the marina, and you can see that the water has made its way over the marina, across the banks, and onto the street, and it's all thanks to the wind that was out here. So hopefully the worst of it is over, but again, they're going to be watching this. They're going to be monitoring it. The good news, I have not seen any water in anybody's homes, but a lot of the streets out here are underwater. So people who are driving around here, just make sure you're going slow. You're not causing a wake to make that water go inside people's home. So be careful, stay safe, and of course, we'll be monitoring it all. For now, we're live out here on St. Pete Beach. Jennifer Titus, 10 News, WTSP.
Thank you, Jen. In Pasco County now, several homes were damaged when the powerful wind sent trees toppling down. Take a look at this. This is mobile home damage in Zephyr Hills. I want to get right over to 10 News reporter Garen Flowers. Garen, was anyone hurt in all this?
Yeah, Tammy, you can see what the strong winds caused here, the damage right here. There was a gentleman who was home with his wife over here, and they noticed that they heard a sound on the roof flapping. The wind was causing something to flap. So Jim Cairns, who's the homeowner here for this home in Zephyr Hills near 301 and County Road 54, walked outside. He says moments later, he literally saw the strong winds peeling back the roof. And that's when he says it just flew away and landed between his home and his neighbors. And that's what you see here. So he called 911. Emergency crews came out. They cut it all up and then tied it down so the wind wouldn't pull it away once again. And I want to mention that Cairns and his wife are able to stay here because this was a secondary layer. There's another layer of roof covering their home, so they're not going to have any issues with water getting in or anything like that. So they're very fortunate about that. And Cairns, he is a preacher, so he thanks God that no one was hurt in this incident. But once again, they'll have to clean up this big mess caused by strong winds here in Zephyr Hills. And once again, they have the cleanup efforts, but they're glad that they were uninjured. For now, live in Zephyr Hills, Garen Flowers, 10 News, WTSP.
We're glad too, Garen. Thank you for that. A close call in Citrus County. Take a look at this. The sheriff's office says heavy winds caused a huge tree to come crashing down on a house on Hartshorn Lane in Holder. A 65-year-old man was inside. Thankfully, though, he wasn't seriously hurt. From Pasco to Citrus to Hernando, 10 News reporter Jonathan Petramala joins us live now from Hernando County. You know, I got to tell you, from Hernando Beach, JP, you saw a lot of flooding back in that area. Has it gone down at all?
Yeah, fortunately, Tammy, it has, since the high tide has come and gone, just like they say, just like time and the tide. It waits for no man. So it went out a little bit earlier, but the road here is still closed. This is Pine Island Drive. This is the only road that goes out to Pine Island. It's a community of about 54 homes or so. Take a look at some video we got a little bit earlier around high tide. That was around 9 o'clock this evening. We talked to Hernando County deputies. They estimated about 1.5 feet of water that was rolling over the road. It created rapids, really, over Pine Island Road. And since then, we saw several cars go and come back, turn around, make a U-turn, because the residents that live here, they know how this road is. They know all the low spots. They see the water on the road. They don't want to take the risk. It is picking up a little bit, but it has died down. That helped the water to kind of recede. But we did talk to a gentleman who is able to make it back to the island. He's come back. Debris on the road. The county's going to have to come out here in the daytime and clean it off. A lot of tree debris, a lot of mud, and so they're going to have to clear that before it's really passable for many people that have cars.
Thank you, Jonathan, for that live report. Now, this is something that you might not think of when you think of severe weather threats, brush fires, but it is a factor. When the winds pick up, they can knock down power lines and cause this. This fire broke out this afternoon in Tampa near the intersection of 26th Avenue and 22nd Street. Firefighters were able to get it under control pretty quickly. Now, this brush fire in Crystal River, a different story, also caused by down power lines. The fire grew to, get this, 60 acres before it was contained. Initially, homes and businesses within a 5-mile radius were ordered to evacuate. That evacuation has since been canceled. There was another brush fire to tell you about too, this one in the countryside area of Clearwater. This one came really close to threatening homes, as you can see here in the foreground. Looks like there was only minor damages to a few fences, though. No word yet on how this fire started, but firefighters say the high winds caused this one to spread quickly. And check this out. This is what it looked like at Safety Harbor Marina today. You can see the palm trees getting knocked around in the wind and the waves crashing up against the docks. Not a great day at all to head out on the water. Speaking of the water, the Coast Guard had to rescue 16 boaters over the weekend due to several reasons, they say, including the weather. I want you to check out the high surf here at St. Pete Beach. Coast Guard crews say the severe weather in our area meant rough sea conditions, limited visibility, coastal flooding, and lightning. Saturday alone, they say they responded to 6 search and rescue calls, saving 3 lives and helping 13 others. Now, these are the photos of the Coast Guard right after they rescued the 3 boaters. That's after their 30-foot vessel took on water 3 miles west of Clearwater Pass on Saturday morning. After controlling the flooding, they towed this boat back to shore to get the boaters to safety. Good news here, no one was hurt. Sadly, 16 people are dead, dozens hurt after tornadoes touched down in Georgia and Mississippi this weekend. More severe weather is still possible tonight throughout the southeast. CBS correspondent Wendy Gillette is tracking the worst of the damage so far.
This cell phone video shows the aftermath of a tornado that slammed Adel, Georgia early Sunday. The twister leveled a mobile home park, killing 7 people and leaving behind a field of debris.
We was laying in bed and it felt like I was in a blender. It went through about 3:30.
The damage extended across 7 counties in southern Georgia. In Appling County, the intense storm ripped roofs off buildings and tore down trees. The cleanup is also substantial in the city of Warner Robins in Houston County, where aluminum siding and tree branches littered the ground.
I didn't hear nothing, I just seen it all come off the house. And I never did hear a tornado siren.
In Washington County, the storm flipped a mobile home, trapping a woman inside. A neighbor came to her rescue.
There's a reason she's still here, so I hope she figures out what it is, because she shouldn't be.
President Trump spoke by phone with Georgia's governor about federal disaster assistance.
Tornadoes were vicious and powerful and strong, and they suffered greatly. So we'll be helping out the state of Georgia.
A tornado also touched down in Plain-Dealing, Louisiana. At South Georgia Motorsports Park, skyboxes were torn apart. And in Foley, Alabama, hail fell during a thunderstorm. An estimated 38 million people live in areas that are at risk for more severe weather from this system. Wendy Gillette for CBS News.
We'll be keeping a close eye on the weather throughout the night, both here and around the country. Meteorologist Rick Kirby will have an update coming up for you right after the break.